but that's what we exist to do, to balance the interests of all the stakeholders in the value chain of water services. From the county government, they have their interests, the national governments, they have their interests, the community have their interests, the company that has been established by the county government, they have their interests because they are semi-autonomous institutions.
They have a right to make their own decisions.
Yes, they have a vote, they have a right to make their decisions, they have a right to decide how to, navigate through as they implement their mandates, and so on and so forth. They are suppliers. They are, like now we are getting into the bulk water space. We of course looking forward to private investors in the water space. They are development partners. They have their, of course, conditions, the way they would want to see the whatever project they support implemented. We have, everybody has an interest in water services.
Everyone has, in fact,
everyone.
I dare say, the kind of job you describe sounds to be very difficult because, it requires Solomonic wisdom. Can you imagine? First of all, you have a resource that is scarce.
Yes.
That is on very high demand.
Yeah,
and very, very valuable. And then you have all these interests.
Sure.
And then there's communities, there's people that believe they have ownership over this resource. Others feel they have first rights, to access this resource. Then you have others who are trying to profit from this resource. There are others who also are trying to exploit. What sort of strategies do you apply in making sure that water conflict does not turn out to be a water war, for example?
Sure.
Where somebody shuts off the tap and says, okay, if you don't accept my rules, you're not getting water. What kind of strategies do you apply?
What we've done, the first step is where we establish standards for water service provision, where it is very clear, as we establish these standards, we involve each and every stakeholder. And from the onset, we are in agreement that this is what we want to achieve. We have a common objective. We've tried as much as possible to rally all the stakeholders together so that we are focused on the same goal. And of course, the stakeholder theory, everybody has their own interests, and everybody would want to maximize on their interests.
That's right.
But the bottom line here is, as you put it, water is scarce, is finite. And therefore, we all agree that we need to use it in a manner that unites us as opposed to, causing conflict.
Right.
And now in the process, in the decision-making process, with consultative the consultative approach really helps us a lot. Although, of course, there are isolated cases where at times we are never to agree, but where we are never to agree, then we use the law. Because there is a law which is in place, the Water Act 2016. We have other instruments in place to help us navigate through those very, very difficult situations. But the main one, consultation. Capacity building, so
Dialogue.
that we are all reading from the same page, creating awareness, and so on and so forth.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, one interesting fact is that about 3 billion people in the world actually live around water resources that have to be shared.
Sure.
But another fact is that maybe 20 to 25 countries only in the world actually have agreements with their neighbors over the water bodies that actually exist on both sides of the border, sharing. Can you talk to us a little bit about this, I believe we call it transboundary agreements and so on. Talk to us a little bit about how WASREB has what role it's played in making sure that Kenya exists well with our neighbors in terms of sharing the resources that the Father in Heaven has given us. Also, even among counties and communities. Talk to us about that. Yeah,
thank you, Victor. As I did mention, basically the the water resource is within the purview of another sister
yeah.
institution, but in the spirit of one government.
Right.